And what we need in the business is all those things we already discussed. And I think we have discussed about these houses also, which are the houses which are important for the purpose of business and which may not be important for service. This we already discussed. Then now service. Okay, which planet indicate service? First thing, as we have said that if there is an association of ascendant and the ninth house, then you have an inclination toward business. Similarly, if there is an association of first and the fifth house, then there is no problem in doing the service. You can pursue service, absolutely there is no problem. जब भी फर्स्ट और फिफ्थ हाउस का एसोसिएशन होगा तो ऐसे व्यक्तियों को सर्विस करने में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होती, जबकि अगर फर्स्ट और नाइन्थ हाउस का जब एसोसिएशन होता है तो ऐसे लोगों को सर्विस बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं होती या बिल्कुल भी उनका मन सर्विस करने के लिए नहीं करता या सर्विस में टोटल फेलियर होते हैं. So if you find that there is an association of first and the fifth house, then you can say you can pursue service as a profession. Then other thing that is being asked after getting all the qualification, whether I will get the high salaried job or not, or high package job or not. So uske liye that most important is the second house. So unless second house is important, you cannot get a high salary or the high package job in spite of whatever may be your qualification. जब तक second house strong नहीं होगा, तब तक आपको सैलरी में या बहुत अच्छी सैलरी नहीं मिलेगी, सैलरी वाला जॉब नहीं मिलेगा, भले ही आपकी क्वालिफिकेशन कैसी भी क्यों ना हो. That's why second house becomes important from the point of view of high package in the service or even high profit in the business also. Then sixth house we call the house of service, and seventh house is basically the house of business. So naturally, when there is an association of 10th and the sixth houses, then also native normally pursue service as a profession. So sixth house को हमने कहा house of service, और जब भी 10th house का और सिक्स्थ हाउस का आपस में एसोसिएशन होगा तो भी कहते हैं कि ऐसे नेटिव जो है वो सर्विस ही परस्यू करते हैं एज ए प्रोफेशन. एंड मेनी टाइम इट हैपेंस दैट वी हैव टू सी सिक्स्थ एंड सेवेंथ हाउसेस. इफ सेवेंथ हाउस इज वेरी स्ट्रांग एज कंपेयर्ड टू सिक्स्थ हाउस, देन नेचुरली यू आर मोर सक्सेसफुल इन बिजनेस, एंड इफ सिक्स्थ हाउस इज स्ट्रॉन्गर देन द सेवेंथ हाउस, देन यू आर मोर सक्सेसफुल इन द सर्विस. तो उससे भी पता लग जाता है कि आप दोनों की स्ट्रेंथ देखनी है आपको, सिक्स्थ हाउस की भी और सेवेंथ हाउस की भी. अगर सिक्स्थ हाउस स्ट्रॉन्गर है तो सर्विस आपके लिए बेटर है, और अगर सेवेंथ हाउस स्ट्रॉन्गर है तो बिजनेस आपके लिए बेटर है. The next is the association of the 10th with second, sixth and 11th houses. Same thing, because second is high salaried, sixth house is the house of service, 11th is gains. So that makes successful in service. So whenever the 10th house is associated with the second, sixth and 11th houses, so you are successful in the service. जब भी 10th house का जो association अगर second, sixth या 11th houses के साथ होता है, तभी भी आपको service में success मिलती है. And when we talk of status, high status in the service, then sun plays a very important role. Unless and until the sun and Saturn both, you can see, because sun is authority and the Saturn is the status. So unless and until the sun and Saturn are strong, you cannot get a very high status or the job of higher authority. So in case you want to get a good job in the government, then both the planets should be strong, sun and Saturn. And apart from that, naturally, ninth house, which is the house of luck, need to be strong actually. तो अगर बहुत अच्छा स्टेटस लेना है सर्विस में, अच्छी पोजीशन लेनी है, तो उसके लिए सन, सैटर्न और नाइन्थ हाउस का स्ट्रांग होना जरूरी है.
सर लेकिन सन और सैटर्न तो एनिमी है ना, तो फिर वो स्ट्रांग कैसे हो सकते हैं? दोनों एक साथ हो सकते हैं?
एक साथ की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ मैं कह रहा हूँ दोनों अलग.
अच्छा, कोई एक, दोनों में से कोई एक
नहीं, दोनों. सन का प्लेसमेंट भी ठीक होना चाहिए और सैटर्न का प्लेसमेंट भी ठीक होना चाहिए. ये नहीं कहा मैंने कि इकट्ठे होंगे, बट दोनों स्ट्रॉन्ग आपके हॉरोस्कोप में होने चाहिए, जब भी आपको बहुत हाई स्टेटस का या हाई अथॉरिटी वाला जॉब मिलता है.
तो ये फोर्थ पॉइंट जो है एसोसिएशन ऑफ 10th विद सेकंड 6th एंड 11th, सो इट इज आइदर वन ऑफ देम या ऑल टुगेदर?
नहीं, जितना भी इनके साथ, जितना भी डिस्कस कि 10th का अगर सेकंड के साथ होगा तो हाई सैलरी जॉब की चांसेस हैं, 10th का 6th के साथ होगा तो नेचुरली सर्विस सब में सक्सेसफुल मिलेंगे, और 11th के साथ भी हो जाता है तो नेचुरली आपको बहुत ही हाई सैलरी जॉब भी मिलेगा एंड यू बी सक्सेसफुल इन सर्विस, तीनों के साथ. देन strong Saturn in the 6th house associated with the 10th house. अगर 6th house में strong Saturn है and it is associated with the 10th house, then again it indicates stability and status in the service. And we already discussed that 6th house need to be stronger than the 7th house, because 6th house is the house of service and 7th house is the house of business. So naturally, if 6th house is stronger, then you are likely to pursue service as a profession.
सर एसोसिएटेड को हिंदी में क्या बोलेंगे?
मतलब संबंध होना चाहिए उनका, जैसे
अच्छा,
कि
उसका संबंध, ठीक है सर.
हाँ, एसोसिएशन का मतलब संबंध, जैसे इकट्ठा बैठे हो, देख रहे हो, तो उस टाइप से मतलब. And these three houses, they indicate the potential for employment also, 1, 6th and 10th houses. तो इस तरह से हम लोग ये सर्विस और बिजनेस देखते हैं. तो ये है प्रोफेशन के मामले में. Now any question on profession you have? Any question, any clarification you need in profession? नहीं. चलिए थोड़ा सा हम लोग अब हेल्थ के बारे में भी थोड़ा डिस्कस करते हैं. Health we normally see from the 6th house, because that is the house of disease, and basically the lagna indicate the health, the position of moon indicate the health, 6th house indicate the health, and 8th house basically indicate the chronic diseases. जो बहुत लंबे टाइम तक चलने वाली बीमारियां हैं उसको हम 8th हाउस से देखते हैं. जब भी हम हेल्थ की बात करेंगे नॉर्मल कोर्स में, हमें ये चारों चीजें देखनी पड़ेंगी, लग्न, मून, 6th हाउस और 8th हाउस, इनके सिग्निफिकेटर, इनके हाउसेस की पोजीशन, तब हमको किसी के बारे में, हेल्थ के बारे में पता लगता है. एंड वी नो दैट ईच हाउस as well as each sign, it represents a certain part of the body. It represents the certain part of the body. So first house, for example, represents the head. Second house is your face. Third house is your basically throat, actually, trachea, esophagus, ears, and thymus gland. Fourth house is the chest and the heart also, lungs, major arteries. Fifth house is lower abdomen, then liver, then gallbladder, intestine. Sixth house is large intestine, anus, and your back, actually. Seventh house, ureter, bladder, pineal gland, uterus, ovaries, kidneys. Eighth house is prostate, external genitals, seminal vessels. Ninth house आपके thighs हैं. 10th house knees है. 11th house is leg, and 12th house is the feet. So similarly, all the sign, they also represent the same part of the body. So we have to see ki whether any of this house or any sign is afflicted. अगर कोई भी house या कोई भी sign अगर badly afflicted है, तो the person is likely to suffer the disease from that part of the body. और जितना affliction होगा उतनी ही seriousness होगी बीमारी के बारे में. तो basically हम जो horoscope में examine करते हैं कि we see affliction. 6th house तो बताएगा क्या डिसीज होगी या क्या होगा, लग्न हाउ स्ट्रांग यू आर, मून हाउ मेंटली स्ट्रांग यू आर, एंड 8th house will tell you whether you likely to suffer from any chronic disease or not. But basically we have to see the house and the sign. If any sign is afflicted, any house is afflicted, then you may suffer the disease of that part of the body. कैसे हम देखते हैं? Because 6th house, we know that this is a house of disease, and 6th from the 6th. Sixth house we will see, as we see in the normal case, planet, then aspecting, then Lord and significant and all those things. Then sixth from the sixth, the principle of Bhavati Bhavam. In case we are looking into sixth house, we have to see sixth from the sixth house, which is the 11th house. So 11th house also has an influence on the health actually. So apart from the sixth house, we also look into the 11th house, because 11th is sixth from the sixth house. Then eighth house, because eighth house is basically chronic disease. So we examine the eighth house also. Then planet in the 12th house. 12th house is the end actually. So naturally, 12th house also become important, because hospitalization, etc., that we see from 12th house. So 12th house also become important from the disease point of view. Then which are the weak planet in your horoscope? If there is a weak planet, let's say Sun is badly afflicted, or Sun is a weak planet, very weak planet, so you may also suffer the problem of indicated by that planet. वो हम देखेंगे अभी कौन सा planet किस टाइप की disease को represent करता है. But if any planet is weak, any planet is afflicted, then you must suffer with the disease of that planet. Then we also look into Sastyan chart. So it says the planet which are in the crude Sastyansh, because Sastyans are also benefic and malefic. So if the planets which are placed in the crude Sastyansh, which is a divisional chart, when we divide the Rashi into 60 equal parts. So any planet placed in the crude Sastyansh, we may also get the problem of that planet. Then Avrohi planet. Avrohi planet means ki which are between exaltation to debilitation sign. It means once, for example, Sun. So if Sun is going from 1 to 6, or if Sun is placed from 1 to 6, or one is the exaltation sign and the seventh is debilitation sign. So if Sun is placed between 1 to 6 sign, so that may also give the problem of that disease of that planet. Then we have a Marak planet. As we have seen that second house and seventh houses, all planet in second and seventh houses, planet aspecting these houses, and even the lord of these houses, they become Marakistan. So they may also give you some disease. Then Lagnesh is weak. Naturally, if Lagna is weak, then you may also suffer the problem. And weak planet posited in the Lagna. So these are all which can cause disease, which can cause some health problem, all these things. So what it says, ki any disease forming 2 to 3 planets out of the above. So that becomes the basic disease of the native. If 2, 3, any disease which is concerned with the 2 or 3 points out of the above, so then you will suffer the problem of that disease actually. On all the planet, they give different kind of health problem. So if any planet is afflicted, any planet is weak, any planet is a Marak planet, so they may cause those type of health problems. For example, Sun is a weak eyesight, headache, disturbance in the circulation of blood, weakness of bones because it represents bones also, palpitation, baldness, hyper irritability, fever, and of course the heart problem because disturbance in the circulation of blood. Moon, basically disease of uterus, dropsy, skin, pleurisy, TB, menstrual disorders, mental aberration, anemia, all those things. Mars is blood disease mainly. Then Mercury is disease connected with the nervous system, that is all neurological problem or some skin disease also like leukoderma and other things. Jupiter is responsible for jaundice, liver disease, vertigo, laziness, disease of gallbladder, and sleeping sickness and anemia. Venus is venereal diseases, sensitiveness, diabetes, also Venus is responsible, stones in the kidney and bladder, cataract, weakness in the sexual organs. Saturn is basically which restrict your movement, that is paralysis, then cancer, tumor, elephantitis, idiocy, and rheumatism and all those things. Rahu is basically slowness of action, clumsiness, intestinal disease, leprosy, insanity, ulcer, general debility, boils, varicose veins type problem. Ketu is intestinal worm, eruptive fevers, low blood pressure, deafness, and defective speech. So these planets, they give these type of problems. So whenever these planets get afflicted, so they may cause the similar type of problem.